This video is to explain simultaneous equation where we have one linear equation and one non-linear equation. Linear means we just have x or y. Non-linear could be x squared, x cubed, y squared, y cubed. Okay, so we have two equations here, x plus y equals 3. So that would be the linear equation, and x squared plus y squared equals 17. That is the non-linear equation. So what does it mean, simultaneous equations? It means that for these two equations are fulfilled by the same x and the same y. Yeah, so the same x and the same y makes both equations true. If we were to show it in a graph, like over here, so the non-linear equation, the x squared plus y squared equals 17, is the circle, and the linear equation x plus y equals 3 is the line. So the points where the x and the y is the same for both equations is where the line and the circle intersects. So we have 2 points here, so 2x and corresponding y. For the point down here, that would be 4 minus 1. And the point up here would be minus 1 and 4. So that's what it would look like graphically, yeah? So it's the intersection of these two graphs, of the linear, the line, and the non-linear, in this case, a circle. So let's see algebraically whether we can find these 2 points as well. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is isolate one of the variables in the linear equation. So we decide for the x, we're going to isolate the x, which means I'm going to bring this y over here to get it out of the way and just have the x by itself. So that would leave me with x equals 3 minus y. Remember, if we bring something to the other side, we have to change the sign. I am now going to take this expression for the x, yeah, so this expression for the x, and I'm gonna replace the x in the other equation, in the non-linear equation, with what I have found for the x. So instead of x squared, I'm gonna write 3 minus y squared. Yeah, so I have just replaced this x squared with what I found for x. And then I write the rest, plus y squared equals 17. Okay, good. So now I need to multiply out the bracket at this stage. So we have talked before about the formula for the perfect square. So we had said a plus b all squared can be expanded to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. And this is what I'm going to use here now. So I'm going to expand the square. Okay, so I square the first one, which 3 squared is 9. Then I have a minus, and then I multiply the 3 with the y, and then multiply the whole thing by 2. So that would be this element here. Yeah, so 3 times y times 2 would give me 6y. And then I square the third, the y. So that would be y squared. I can take this bracket away. Okay, and then I have the rest, just the rest, which was the plus y squared equals 17. I will simplify it. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. This should be a plus. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to simplify it now and rearrange it a wee bit. So I have 2y squared minus 6y plus 9 equals 17. Since this is a quadratic equation. The only way I can solve it is by making one side equal to 0, which means I'm gonna have to bring this 17 over, which means I will have to change the sign. So that would then equal to 0. So I have 2y squared minus 6y plus 9 minus 17. I calculate that. 2y squared minus 6y plus 9 minus 17 would give me minus 8 equals to 0. Okay, so now I can solve it. I have two options. I can either factorize or use the minus b formula. So we're just going to use the minus b formula, which is x equals minus b plus minus the root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So I have y here instead of x, but that doesn't matter. Okay, so this is a, this is b, and this is c, which means my a is 2, my b is minus 6, and my c equals minus 8. So I will put that now into the minus b formula. So y equals minus 6 plus minus 6 squared. So the bracket at this stage here, this bracket around the minus 6 is very important. Minus 4a is 2 and c is minus 8 over 2 times 2. Okay, so you can put that in the calculator, but I will just solve it like this. So that would be 36 plus 4 times 16 is 64. 36 plus 64 divided by 4. Y equals 6 plus minus, so 36 plus 64 is 100. The root of that is 10 and over 4. So we can calculate this now. Okay, so y equals 6 plus 10 over 4. So that gives me a 4. And y equals 6 minus 10 over 4. That would give me a minus 1. Okay. So I found the y now. So one is y equals 4 and the other one is y equals minus 1. So I will take these y's and put them into the original linear equation. The linear equation, because this is the easier one. So what would you have? X plus y equals 3. So we have x plus 4 equals 3. And x plus minus 1 also equals 3. We solve for x, which means I bring the 4 over, which means I change the sign. X equals 3 minus 4. So x equals minus 1. So I have my point minus 1 comma 4 on this side. And y minus 1 equals 3. Bring it to the other side, change the sign. Y equals 3 plus 1. So y equals, oh sorry, x, not y, x, sorry. X equals 4. So now I have the other point, which was 4 minus 1. Okay, and that is what we found graphically as well, 4 minus 1 and minus 1, 4. Okay, yeah. So 4 minus 1 and minus 1, 4.